Hello, I am Trapped in a Box, and this is Gephi. Welcome back to my networking project, where I graph the collaborations between different YouTubers. I'm back in Gephi, the network visualization program, and I've got more data to show you. As always, every circle on this graphy represents a YouTube channel or contributor, and their size as well as their position are directly related to the number of appearances each guest has made. Today, I've used the Force Atlas 2 positioning algorithm to organize them, so things should look slightly different. And because it is Thursday, there are three colors identifying the three different groups I've made. The nodes, whose channels I have collected data for so far in darker blue, the guests, who have appeared on multiple channels in teal, light blue, or whatever, and the uniques, who have only appeared on one of the node channels so far, are orange. This week we're adding Rythian to our network. The mysterious Swedish pioneer of the Black Rock Chronicles, Rythian has his own little camp of collaborators. He also isn't based in Bristol, where the Yogscast Yog Towers are, so he tends to do some things on his own. Still, he has a knack for games with a deep story. Let's get into this. As you can see, Rythian has his own little island in 2011, as Martin did, but he also started his channel in the middle of December of that year. Now, this graph doesn't change much because of the switch I made between this week and last from the Yi-Fan-Hu algorithm to the Node Atlas 2, but 2012 really did. Let's go on to next year and see. As you can see, this graph looks totally different, mostly because of the change to the Force Atlas. This new algorithm basically just takes the weight of the connections between people into account more. For example, you can see the orange circles of Total Biscuit, Jesse Cox, Peter Molyneux, and Warwick Davis are all bunched around Lewis and Simon, which they have a connection with. Using Yi-Fan-Hu, they would be pushed out to the mass, but under this algorithm, they're right next to the one they have a connection to. There's still some problems with the algorithm, though, and things I have to figure out. For example, why is Craner pushed out when it has two connections, and why are only Lewis and Simon's uniques bunched like that? But I can work that out. Meanwhile, Force Atlas gives us a pretty good view of who is actually closer in relation to each other. I liked it a lot better than what Yi-Fan-Hu did. Let's see what Force Atlas and the addition of Rythian have done to 2013. The first thing you can see here is how Martin's huge number of uniques really push him away from the others, and that some of his uniques are closer to him than others. That's another effect of this Force Atlas algorithm. The closer uniques have more appearances on Martin channels than the ones who are farther away. As you can see, Rythian is embedded in the center of the Yogs, with three uniques clustered around him. I'll play around with that, see if I can get a good consistency, or explain why it happens. It's possible that the video is already up, actually. I may have made it and put it up on Wednesday. Time will tell. For now, let's go on to 2014. I really like this one, actually. The 7 nodes in the center look like an animal of some sort, with 4 legs, or like the chassis of a car. And that's my academic opinion, by the way. As you can see, we've got Rythian hanging onto the side of this creature, the Yog, trailing its heap. Martin is also off doing his own thing. But otherwise, I think this is a pretty good depiction. I noticed last year that Sips and Shin drifted a bit, and you can see that here. And Sips and Terps, they're definitely closer together. Kim and Duncan are next to each other as they should be, but for some reason Hat Films is close to both Duncan and the main channel, which they only appeared in a couple times compared to Sips, who is all the way across the side of the Yog. A lot of this graph is predictable, especially to those of us who have watched the Yogscast, but what is interesting to me is that it creates an avenue of sorts, with a large number of collaborations and uniques on either side. You can see some people specialize in outreach, and some of them keep it in the family. It's almost as if these guys are tail ends of the larger web of gaming YouTubers in general. I'm sure if I went down the list of the most popular YouTubers, I'd end up with a much less focused web, and one with a lot more branches. I probably should do that at the end of this research and add them in just to see what happens. But for now, let's see the 4-year overview. 2011 to 2014. We've really come a long way from where we started. Pretty soon, I won't be able to get the entire web on one screen, and I'll have to show just parts of it at a time so you guys can see who the nodes even are. Here again, the nodes create a big bunch in the middle. Again, they're all together except for Martin, but this time there's no Yog creature that they made. Oh well. So this is the product of 9 weeks of data collection. Let me know who you guys would like to see when we break double digits next week. It'll also mark me being more than halfway through the entire Yogscast. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe to keep up, and I will see you next time.